tweet it out that we doing our thing. Let me tweet that out. Cause yeah, we live. Let me tweet this out. Go on X. I refuse to call this thing X. I just keep saying Twitter. Let's see. Let me go back over here, and I think we good to go, man. I think we good to go. What's good? What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Sip to Tally Films. Got a special guest with me today. We got Cole from Road Graders, and we gonna talk a little bit about Malaki Starks and what the Baltimore Ravens did with round one, pick 27 last night. Got a few questions for him. Hopefully. I lost him. Let me get him back. Let me get him back. We'll see what his thoughts are on that. Fall back in here in a minute. But what up, Cam? What up, Ghost? What up, John? I started watching the video call, but I had a little something to do, John. I'm going to go back and catch up on all that good stuff here when we finish. When we finish, I go back and catch up on all that. What up, P? I hope he can get back in. What's up, Reg? What's up? Oh, there you go. There we go. There we go. You back. Yeah, you back. You back. Can you guys hear him fine? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear Cole. Give me a mic check, Cole, and make sure, because I don't want to talk and they can't hear you. But the levels look good on my end. I just want to make sure they can hear. We'll wait on somebody to we'll wait on somebody to thumbs up that, and then we'll go from there. Please send my regards to the Great White Northern Raven Cole. Thank you. That's from Sega Genesis. Appreciate it. Okay, so P said he can't hear you. So let me turn this up. So now I got it turned up. So I know you can hear him now. Once we get, I know you can hear him because I turned his volume all the way up, so it'll be good. So now, and I just didn't want, I had to turn it down because I didn't want that echo to come through and you have a double, whatever it is. You know how like it'd be doubled up. But let's get started. So the Ravens picked up Malaki Starks yesterday from UGA. I personally wanted an O-lineman. I wanted Simmons at that pick. How did you feel at the time about who did you want at that time?
Yeah, I've been struggling with this one because obviously, like you saw the film, I saw the film. In terms of just the football player, the best player on the board when the Ravens picked last night was Mike Green. Like, let's be real, and it wasn't even close. Like, that's how good his film was. Obviously, there's some personal issues that he's dealing with, and there's it's obviously why he's dropping in the draft, and 32 teams passed on him last night. So you have to factor that into it as well. In terms of the football player, without having all the understanding of what's true and what's not true in terms of allegations and all of that. So I mean, like, I struggle with these, right? Because like I don't know what happened. We don't get to dig into all the details, but from just a pure football perspective, which is what I try and focus on, I was really looking at a pass rusher like that. I had a lot of interest in Derek Harmon. Obviously, he wasn't on the board when they picked, but I tend to agree with you. I think when I look at the Ravens defense last year, and also even in 2023, like what made them so strong, it's kind of an interesting picture because I think their safety room and how they unlocked the versatility of Kyle Hamilton in 2023 was really what took them over the edge. Now, last year, Marcus Williams forgot how to play football for whatever reason. And, there's really no, like, I know I've watched your videos. I've watched Coach DC's videos. There's really no explanation like around the Marcus Williams piece. Like it's just like, there's blown coverages, stuff that we didn't see in his past. It's hard to like really put your finger on other than he just stopped buying in, stopped paying attention. It was the little thing. So, but the Ravens fixed that. And I think that's what I've been I try and stay consistent in my analysis. And I've said that about the linebacker picture. I'm not as concerned about the linebackers because they were able to deploy veterans and figure it out last year, right? I kind of felt the same about the safety room. Obviously, getting Malaki Starks goes back to that 2023 picture where you can now unleash Kyle Hamilton. And there's a lot of value in that. But when I go back to last year and even the last couple of years, and I look at the playoffs and I look at what was the defense missing, it was really that consistent disruptive pass rusher. So when I look at what I think the Ravens defense biggest need was, I don't I don't think we addressed it yet. That's kind of my feeling. And I think that's kind of where you were, and I'm completely on board with that. And protecting Lamar Jackson when we look at the offensive line, that it's top priority. It's going to be a top priority every time you have a franchise quarterback. And I personally think they need to upgrade their guards. I think the Ravens don't think they need to upgrade their guards, but we're just that's where I stay true to just kind of my beliefs. And there's always what Cole would do and what Cole thinks the Ravens will do, and those two things aren't always the same. So in terms of priorities, I had safety on my list, but it wasn't in the top 3. So it's just one of those things where you look at the benefits. Though Malaki Starks comes in, a guy that I think can perform very well in that split safety look. That's really what I've kind of gotten from looking. There's some stuff he needs to clean up, and we'll probably dive into that here. But I think he's going to fit into that kind of Geno Stone role that they were trying to replace last year. And what that allows you to do with Kyle Hamilton, I think it's funny. It's like adding Malaki Starks is a good move, but I think what it does for Kyle Hamilton is an even bigger storyline here.
Yes. And I'll say this. I want to preference my entire talk about Malaki Starks today, and anything that you may think is negative. Malaki Starks is a heck of a football player, but everything that Cole just said about edge, take the word edge out from him and put off guard in for me. I feel the exact same way, but we're gonna talk about Starks. But Starks is now a Raven. So how I felt last night is not how I feel today. I got all my out last night, and so I watched tape today, and now it's about him being the best possible player he can be because he's on the team now. So ain't no use of me just sitting here. I'm over with. I just needed it. I needed to get it out and say it and be done with it. My Patreon members, they heard me talk about it. I talked about it twice, late last night and on the way to work this morning. So I got it all out. And I got a chance to watch Starks today, and it's all about how can he fit and make the Ravens the best possible option. Now, we're going to solely stay with Starks now. Forget O-line, forget edge. Forgot you for about 8 minutes. We're going to start with the negative because it was not a lot of negative, so we can get that out the way quick. What don't you like about Starks in this game?
Yeah, I think I kind of put it out there. So to be fair, I've only watched 2024 so far. I think you and I watched the same 4 games. So I haven't gone back to 2023 yet. I have the games downloaded. I'm not doing my video until Monday, so I'm gonna be kind of marinating in it a little bit. But I'm really interested to go back because his run defense was really interesting to me. When he is a run defender from a split safety alignment, I didn't have a ton of issues. I felt he ran the alley very aggressively. I think he held his gaps extremely effectively. That Notre Dame game was probably the best run D I've seen from a safety so far. Uses hands well, but what's interesting to me is when he was aligned in the slot or aligned in the box and closer to the line of scrimmage where you're more of a second level player rather than a third level player, and that space between you and the offensive line or the blocking scheme, because it happened with tight ends as well. It even happened against Alabama's wide receivers. Like, he got bullied in that Alabama game, in the run game. And so I think that's where I kind of had a little bit of hesitancy because, a lot of people have been talking about the versatility. It's not that I don't think he's versatile, but I really see him as a split safety. Like, that's kind of the role I want to see him in here. I think he can come down and play man in obvious passing situations. And I think you see, like, he had really good man coverage abilities, very fluid athlete. And it's so interesting because if you look at his 40-yard dash, his 10-yard split's crap. His 20-yard split was average, and then his 40 was good. And so I think that really shows because he really hits top speed very, like, once he hits top speed, he's going, right? So, and I never felt he was getting burnt deep or anything like that. But in terms of negatives, I'm a little worried about that versatility piece in his run defense because, we've seen it with Kyle Hamilton. He's got to be able to step up on screens, swing passes, all that kind of stuff. And I didn't see that in his film. Maybe when I go back to 2023, I'll feel a little bit differently. But when I saw him playing the run from that split safety alignment, I had far less concerns.
Gotcha. As for me, it's simply when he is employed down into the box or when he does have to do run fits, his tackling technique wasn't the greatest. But I will say this, and like I said,
Did you think he was a swing tackler, like someone that would kind of
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
I got a
like
couple notes on that. I got like 2 clips I think that I have so far where his head wasn't across leverage, but he swung into the tackle, so it's kind of arm tackling. And I saw it was interesting. I saw he had a pretty like he doesn't have a high missed tackle rate,
right.
but in the 4 games I watched, I saw quite a few missed tackles. So I was kind of like, what am I missing here? So I don't know if it's one of those things. Like if you go look at his PFF grades, his worst graded game was that Alabama game, which is funny because
Miro was putting all of them in a blender.
Yeah, and the wide receivers played like bullies. Like they pushed that ball through reverses and those swing passes, and those wide receivers bullied that Georgia defense out wide against their secondary. So I thought that's just one of those things where that's why you got to watch more, right? It's like, and that was the first game I watched, so I kind of left that game and I'm like, what just happened? And then I watched the Clemson game and I watched the 2 Texas games and I was like, okay, there we go. There's that guy that we want to see. So, it's just one of those things where taking in more film can always give you more information. But that was my biggest concern, really. There's some things in coverage that I think, undercutting. I think he played a little aggressive on a couple deep balls where he's trying to get up and go for the ball and make a play. And there was that one against Bama where he went up and, it's kind of interesting because he did disrupt the pass and went off the Bama receiver hands, and then he kind of circus catched it at the end. So, I mean, that's a big completion against him, but he did undercut that ball pretty hard. So that was one thing I did notice a few times.
With him, for me, go back to the swing tackling. Even when he got you face to face and you were good enough to make him miss, you didn't get very far from him. So if you faked, you went in the hole and you pop, man, and gave him a move and got by him, within the next 5 yards, you probably was on the ground. Because you ain't getting away from him. So his missed tackles, if he missed a tackle, it didn't go for a big gain afterwards. He recovered and got your butt on the ground. So that's the bad part that I liked about him. And that's really ain't too much negative that can't be fixed for me.
A lot of it was technique. And I think the biggest thing, and I don't know if you want to move into the positives, but the biggest positive that I saw that gives me a hell of a lot of hope, and I mean a lot of hope that I think he's going to be a high-level performer as an individual outside of what he's going to do for the players around him, is his I always tag my play. I've seen you do it too. So does Coach DC. When you're tagging plays, you want to categorize them, right? And I just kept calling it like coverage IQ 1, coverage IQ 2. So I have like 13 clips across 4 games that are just him showing high level IQ in coverage, whether it's from a split safety alignment or down in the box. The way he recognizes route combinations and then positions himself or leverages himself within the coverage, I think consistently taking away like a lot of first read to his side of the field and the quarterback's looking the other way because of how he's positioned himself. I thought he played those route combos really well. There's a couple of plays against Notre Dame where they tried to run, they ran that 2-man stack on the wide side of the field, and his ability to position himself relative to the other corner on that side of the field, I thought was also really high level, because it's not just him understanding the route combination and where those leverage points are, but it's knowing where the corner is in coverage and where he needs to put himself. And that's just like that type of little stuff, seeing that out of a college football player. And then you hear the Ravens go on about how he interviewed. And we know in some of these interviews, they sit down and they're like, here's a play, break it down for me. And watching that, I'm like, he could sit down with a whiteboard and just blow your mind with his football knowledge. So to me, that's the biggest thing that I'm like, there's really nothing that I think can't be fixed. And seeing the IQ side of the game, that's where I'm like, okay, he's got those the way to get to that next level, right? Like that's the stuff you can't teach that. You've coached for years, and that teaching someone how to process the game is the hardest part of being a coach.
Exactly. Teaching them to try to see stuff on the same level you do is one of the hardest things to do. But when you get a kid that can get on the whiteboard and explain not only what he's doing, but why he's doing it, and then can take it to the field and do it, that's a godsend. And even though, I think we're on the way to having the best safety combo, and they're both going to be under 24.
Yeah.
I don't know how old Kyle is. I know he's young, but they're under 24. Let me ask you this before I forget. Which 4 games did you watch? 'Cause I just fell into my little secret stash that I had forgot about.
Alabama, Notre Dame, Texas SEC Championship, and Clemson.
Okay, so
there was an earlier Texas game I didn't watch out of 2024 that's in that caddy folder. If that's where you're looking.
This ain't in caddy.
Okay.
I got so I could send you this. I got. You probably don't know if you want to see. I got Tennessee Tech, Kentucky, Georgia Southern, Auburn, and Mississippi State.
Yeah, I take a couple of those. Definitely. Okay. Are they all 24?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What stash you got going? We'll talk later.
Multiple sources of stashes. I really haven't forgot about this one because I got it when I was coaching football, and
gotcha.
So it's just something that I've continually had since I ain't coaching since whatever I was. But I clicked over here while you was talking because I thought about it, and I got 1, 2, 3. I got 7 games in there, so I'll get that to you once I get off the call-in show.
Sounds good.
Overall, I think Malaki is going to be a good player. Initially, like I said, me and you both wanted the trenches, but at this point, he's on the team. I think he's going to be a heck of a player. I think Zach Orr got Christmas early. All he has to do is now get creative. I think he has 3 high-level safeties, and I think he has 2 high-level DBs and 2.5 high-level cornerbacks. So I'll say DBs. I didn't mean to say that. 2.5 high-level cornerbacks with Marlo, Wiggins, and Awuzie. If you want to add Awuzie and TJ Tampa and J. Loma Davis and put them together, you may have 3 high-level corners.
I'm holding out for TJ Tampa. I really think TJ Tampa's skill set is going to be advantageous with the safety alignment because I think what this allows TJ Tampa to do a little bit Jalen Armour Davis, but honestly, I feel like we haven't seen him, so it's hard to assess the player. I forget the kind of player he was coming out, but I think with TJ Tampa's aggressiveness at the line of scrimmage, I think this will allow those corners to play press a little bit more aggressively. And that's something that they shifted away from last year, right? When they came in and Dean Pease kind of started helping Orr and they cleaned things up a little bit on the back end, everything became conservative. That cover 2, that 5-man line dropping 7 yards off the line of scrimmage. I don't think you're going to see as much of that this year. And I think that could put TJ Tampa, when he gets his shot, into a very advantageous spot because that plays really well into what I saw as a strength coming out of Iowa State last year.
All right, last question for you on day 2. What position groups are you hoping that we target?
D-line, O-line. That's you come away from tonight with Omar Norman Lott and you get me Wyatt Malum and I'll forget last night even happened. No, it's I think you need to hit I think you need to hit both sides of the line. Whether or not it's an interior defensive line or an edge, my personal view on this is I think there's more value based on the current roster construction and getting an interior defensive lineman versus an edge. I think there's going to be a higher hit rate trying to get that guy later in the draft than an edge. They're so damn hard to find. Yeah. And I think when you look at some of the names left, there's a little bit more of a chance. For me, one of the things I've been really prioritizing is getting more athletic on both sides of the line. And that third defensive tackle that would kind of be in that, I keep comparing it to like the Milton Williams role, right? Where you have Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter in early. There's your Travis Jones, Matabike, but I need that Milton Williams that can come on with Matabike, spread them out to both guard spots, put them in the 2 techs, and force that center to kick out and then create that real deep one-on-one. So I think that's where Omar Norman Lott gets me very excited. That's a guy that I think that's why I was so interested in Derek Harmon, because I'm like, if you have Derek Harmon, he can play the 1 tech if you need him to, but you could also kick him out wide. Hell, you kick him out as wide as a 4 tech, and that's really going to put those guards in a blender because they're going against either Harmon or Matabike. So those type of guys are really where I'd be focused. My only concern is interior defensive line does drop off. Would absolutely love to see the Ravens trade up if he kind of slips into, the late 40s. I think it's worth it. I think he's got that type of ceiling. So that's really where my focus is. And then later, they got to address the guard position. Me and you see eye to eye on this. It's not, it's one of those things where I feel like you and I talked after every game last year and we kind of, I don't think we ever disagreed on the O-line picture, which was nice.
Never.
So, I still want to see a guy that can kind of come in and have that tackle skill set as well as being a guard. That's why Wyatt Malum to me is one of the best fits, because I think he comes in, he's a day one guard, and he still has that ability long term to play some offensive tackle. But there's also a couple other cats out there that can do that as well.
True. So I appreciate you, Cole, for coming through. Appreciate you for taking that time with me. I know you got to do some daddy duties, and let the people know where they can find your work if they don't. Oh, he left early. Well, Cole is, if you don't know, Cole with Road Graders over there, so he does great O-line work, a lot of O-line work, and doing draft stuff as well. So take your time out and go follow Cole over there. And so what we're going to do is he probably not gonna come back because we was about to close it anyway. We're gonna switch over to the call-in show. So go give Cole a follow, and I'll link, once I finish, I'll go back and link his information in the chat box. But most of y'all probably already know Cole because he do a good job throughout the season of talking O-line work. So now let me get my stuff switched over, and we're going to get this call-in show popping. So I got to go to a different scene. Go to a different scene, and let me get my phone lines open. Give me 1 second, get the phone lines open, and get the number to start coming in the chat box. Let me get the timer up. Where is it? There it is. We're going to get this timer up. All right, let me go get my phone. I appreciate y'all for taking time out the middle of your day at 3:49. We ain't going to be here too much longer because we got a long night tonight starting at 7 o'clock.
You are the only participant in the conference. The recording has started.
All right, I think I got that up. Let me put this where I can see it. Put that up there. Get everybody else back where we need to be. Let's get ready to roll this thing. Y'all still with me? Yeah, we 132 strong. We already got a caller. First caller is already up. Let me get my screen where I can see myself. There we go. So, let me let him in. Let me mute everybody.
All participants are on hold. All participants are off hold. All participants are muted, and they can unmute themselves.
Now we good to go. P, what's good, my dog? How you feel about last night?
Oh man, I felt like everybody else felt in the beginning, but then I started thinking about it, Coach. And I'm gonna try to be quick, but this is the scenario I came up with. If we really look at it, EDC probably gonna cook on the selection he just made.
Mm-hmm.
Just think about it. He got to pay Hamilton, and he got to try to pay Linderbaum, right? What if for some reason, you EDC, for some reason, both these guys are asking for a lot of money? You got to pick one. Who you picking?
Oh, Hamilton. For sure.
Really?
Hamilton. Yeah, I'm picking Hamilton.
Now, we say Hamilton, but last night I was watching y'all, and everybody was like, oh, we got to protect the Ferrari.
We do.
We got to protect the Ferrari.
We do.
He just made it possible that when he comes to this decision and one of them two guys asking for too much money, I don't have to go out and try to find another all-pro center. But guess what? I just drafted another Kyle Hamilton 2.0, or at least we can get him to that point.
Good point, P.
If Hamilton walk, guess what? Hey, just drop Starks down there, and then we go find two other guys that we on the back end.
That's a good point.
Because we got to protect the Ferrari, right?
Yeah, that's a good point.
You want to go try to find another?
You can't.
You want to go try to find another Linderbaum?
So let me ask you a question. You think it's easier to find another Hamilton or find another Linderbaum? You threw it on me. I'm gonna throw it back.
Right. I don't think you can find either one of them as far as like a straight replacement. But if you think about it, Starks has those abilities, right? He's versatile. He can play in the box. He can play deep. Y'all just got finished talking about him in run coverage. They can fix all that stuff. You have that person now on the team that if need be, not saying he's going to be a Kyle Hamilton, but he's we see the ability in him to become an all-pro at that position. And then you have to go back and find somebody to replace him on the back end. But I haven't heard anybody talk about any centers in this draft. Maybe some might be coming out next year or whatever the case may be, but you got that position. I think that's why they did that, because EDC knows he has that big decision coming up. And I think on their end, they're also thinking that, okay, we want to try to keep this offensive line together. The centerpiece of that is Linderbaum. You got Stanley back. You're good on the right tackle with Rosengarten. We already know they're going to probably let Fillet play. And then are they really going to give Ben Cleveland a chance to maybe try to go after that left guard? We don't know. But I think they will draft a guard. Now, whether it's going to be somebody that can really compete, that's a whole nother situation, because I want everybody, too, to get ready that pick 59, unless EDC start, trying to package some of these 6-round picks, round 2 going to be another defensive player, man.
Can't be.
I mean, we don't want it to be. It shouldn't be. It should be somebody on that O-line. But I think they're so hung up on how the defense started out last year, right, with that secondary.
That's a legit
getting
concern,
Starks is right. That's a good way to start to fix that, right? And then the other inconsistency on defense, leading down into, if you want to say, the playoffs or even maybe out the whole season, was the pass rush. They don't. Us as Ravens fans, we got to understand, the Ravens are a defensive team, even with the Lamar Jackson on the team. It's in the building. As long as Ozzie and all them in there, no matter who's at quarterback, it's going to be a defensive-minded team. Just bottom line. So we got to just get used to that. We should have seen it. I was thinking about it this morning, too. The guy from Georgia. He's from Georgia. Who's from Georgia on the team? Todd Monken. You think they didn't have an inside track on Starks?
Possibly, yeah. Possibly. But, I
You
think
see what I'm saying?
most of the picks came from SEC and Big 10. What's the conference Ohio State in them in? Big 10?
Yeah, I think so.
Almost all the picks came from them two conferences last night.
Right. You know what I mean? So, I'm not surprised. I've been saying it since everybody been, the guy that been Sarah and Bobby did some little thing in there on their podcast where they from all the mock drafts that they could find how many times certain players were mocked to the Ravens, and Starks was mocked like over 30 something times.
Yeah, I think I might have saw that on Twitter, where that was the first time that the mocks, like the consensus mocks, were right.
Right. Yeah. Like so many people. I mean, the pick, it makes sense and it don't make sense.
And that's why, I agree 100%. Yeah, because of the back end is going to be elite, and it makes sense to me because the back end started off crappy, extremely crappy. So you want to address that, which they did in that case. But I felt like they kind of addressed it, putting Ardarius in. But then again, Ardarius ain't no long-term answer because he took forever to, well, they kind of lowballed him too. But Ardarius ain't the long-term answer. But you also don't have a long-term answer at guard either. So I mean, it's you come to the point where you got trade-offs. You got to pick which one. So
and I think what they were looking at,
complain about EDC, he got a tough freaking job. He got a hard freaking job.
Exactly. He definitely got a tough job.
He got a hard job.
Trust me. Even if he had went guard, you might have been like, you picked that guard,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
Like you picked that. Booker.
Right.
And he went
exactly.
12.
A lot of people was down on Booker. A lot of people were down on Booker. Because I mean, did you see the reaction? Did you see anybody's reactions from when the Cowboys chose Booker? Everybody was like, "What in the world?"
I only saw Booker's. I only saw how hype Booker was. But
really?
You in Cowboy country, so I know they probably was falling out.
Yeah, yeah.
I know one person was happy.
Man. Yeah, oh, Vach, yeah. Of course Vach was happy. You know, I mean, he really know the player, you know what I'm saying? But the average reactions to them picking him was like, what? Who? Even Michael Parsons on his podcast.
Mm-hmm.
You should have seen his face. He was like, who?
Right.
They picked who? You know what I mean? But I think that's, you know, where we come down to it. And, I mean, they probably looking at it from this aspect, too. Something told me, like, go look up their offensive statistics from last year. We averaged 30.5 points per game, and we were the number one team in total yards.
Mm-hmm.
So they probably looking at it like, hold up. The line couldn't have been too bad.
A lot of people look at it like
We
that.
bringing those guys back. You know what I mean? We bringing them back, giving them another year, another training camp together. We re-signed Ronnie.
Mm-hmm.
So if we, you know, averaged 30.5 points a game, led the league in total points, you know, if we can get this defense together to hold people to 10 to 15 points, we good.
Right.
That could be their philosophy. I don't know, Coach, but I appreciate you, man. I'm going to get off here, but just those are my thoughts.
I appreciate you.
You know, with, you know, that big decision he got coming up, because I think Kyle is going to demand, oh, my God.
Oh,
bro.
yeah, I'm going to get it bad. Most definitely. He get it bad.
Lord Jesus, man. They may have to him and Lamar might be on the same terms at some point, man, because that, I mean, you got to pay the man. He can't be no less than what, 20 mil a year?
Oh, yeah. He gonna be the highest paid safety.
Right. It's nowhere in the world you can give him anything less than that. So, you know, and then what? Linda, I mean, so he got a hard decision to make, man.
Yep,
we'll see. Appreciate you, Coach. I'm going to keep listening, man.
No problem.
Have a good one. I'll see you later on tonight.
Most deaf. P calling in with great commentary. And again, we just typing. We talking hypotheticals. Nothing like, hey, we want Hamilton gone. It was just a scenario. That's all. Just, you know, scenario. It's cool. It's cool. We just talking hypotheticals. Let's let me see. Smash that like button if you've done so. Let's go with our next caller. What up, Cam? What's good with you?
Well, yeah. First of all, like, because the other callers, like, we pay Kyle. I don't think we could pay Kyle and Tyler. We just have to get rid of the contract they won did money that DK and Rosenthal. You know what I'm saying? Like, get rid of those two guys, and I would say pay Tyler and Kyle, because I think those players bring more value to the team overall. But you never know. But with the pick that they did, at first I was with y'all saying I didn't really like it at first, but then like just like sitting on it, I really like it more and more and more. But I want everybody in saying it kind of mostly depends on the rest of the draft, you know. If you draft like a corner at 59, then there's like a one on like an O-lineman who's like, I would like to pick less. But if you just draft, you know, for example, that Michael out of Arizona,
Jonah from Zone.
Like, if you draft him, and then like I would really like qualify me, really like me pick, you know. So I think it's a really good pickup, and it all depends, you know, on round 2 or round 3 mostly, because I don't really trust EDP still on drafting like old linemen in the later round. So I would say like this, like tonight, will kind of really solidify if I like the pick, if I love the pick, or if I still like the pick, but I still like the value, you know. So it mainly depends on tonight.
So I'm gonna just recap what you said for the people listening. He's saying that depending on how the pick goes tonight, will reflect on how much he likes the first round pick, depending on which route he goes today. So that's where he's going with it.
Yeah, but like, because like I like the pick right now, but if he's gonna miss out on some players, then it's like But if we can still kind of get those type of caliber players on one D lineman, second, third round, then I would like really solidify me kind of living the pick. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I agree. Tonight's gonna be interesting. And
yeah.
Honestly, what a dream scenario for me would be to take the 2 picks we have, I forget the numbers, and to use some of the stuff we got for tomorrow to have a 3rd pick today.
Yeah.
No matter what the
Yeah, me too.
position
Because
is,
like I was,
no matter
because
what
we
the
were like
position is,
four,
do that.
3 or 4 like 6-round picks and stuff, you know, and like it takes long, man. Like I would even say like I'll package all of our 6-round picks and try to move up until we get third round. You know what I'm saying?
Because somebody
having
just gave
3
up
or
a bunch of
4.
picks yesterday. Who gave up a bunch of picks to Jacksonville, right? To
Yeah, I
get
think so,
Travis.
or something. But I do tell something like that, man, because having 3 to 4, 6-round picks on this team, it's kind of useless, man. Because like pretty much I think maybe at most one of those guys will even make the roster or the practice squad, you know. Like so on this team, you know, like if we were like the Cowboys, I would kind of see it because we also can get. But with this team, and trade, like I would say, trade all the 6-round picks and let's just kind of move up in the third, you know, so we can get like multiple hits on day 2, you know what I'm saying? Because I just don't see 3 6-rounders and a 7th rounder making the team. I just don't see it. I don't see it. It's like I don't even see him maybe even next year as well. You know, I think at most they'll be on the team, maybe on the practice squad, maybe 3 years, and then you know. But I just don't. I would say, man, you got to trade all the 6-round picks to try to move up in the third today.
So I appreciate you, Cam. Go and get your workout in, man. Get your gains in, and that's why I need to be. Matter of fact,
I'm in the gym right now.
I'm
Yeah,
start next week.
I'm at the gym.
I'm gonna start next week getting my gains in. I got to get some of this good food off me. I'm gonna just leave it at that. I got to get some of this good food off me. So I appreciate you, Cam. We're gonna lock in with these 3 behind you, man. And I'll see you tonight, man. I know you're gonna pop in tonight on us.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it.
The conference has been locked.
So that's Cam right there. Next up, let's see who we got. Let's see who we got. We got my man Marcus. I think this my man Marcus.
Hey, what's up, Coach?
This is my man Marcus. What's good, Marcus?
Hey, Coach. I'm not going to rant. I'm gonna calm down. I'm gonna calm down today.
Yeah, you hot this morning, wasn't it?
I was hot last night. You saw it last night.
But yeah, I didn't come down. So I'm good today. I got everything I need to say out. I'm good.
Because this the problem I kind of have with like Ravens media. Like you cannot say if it is a steal if that play had been marked to you for like the last 2 months. That's not a steal. Automatic. So saying it's a steal when no other team was picking safety in the first round, and most likely he was about to be there after like the second round, that's not a steal. That actually is a reach. And to me, I feel like EDC kind of wet the bed a little bit because once he saw Tyler Booker gone, I think he just like he did not know like it was going to be a run on guards and tackles after that. Like when you saw look at it, they literally said on TV when the Saints picked up Calvin Banks, they said, "Oh, we're gonna move him to guard." The Saints said we're gonna move him to guard. That's when the Cowboys got Tyler Booker. Like people watch TV like we do. They hear what the people are saying. So it just to me, it's just like when your division rivals got all D linemen to stop Lamar Jackson, and your biggest problem is at guard, and you didn't fix that. And to me, you trying to tell me that 3rd round and 4th round guards could compete with 1st round D linemen? They cannot. That's why they're 3rd round, 4th round guards, and that's why they're 1st round D linemen because they cannot compete. Is the difference? They cannot compete with each other on a 60 play game.
Yeah,
because usually you play.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the full game, you cannot elite talent will take over average talent. Throughout the game. So that's why we need safety, and he's good, but is he the real fit that we need? Because soon as he got drafted, I heard people say, "Oh, he's probably gonna ease in as 3rd safety to not to be the starter." I'm like, hold up. The philosophy in the 1st round is 1st round picks are day 1 starters. When minicamp come up, if you're a 1st round pick, you are a starter, unless you are like a quarterback and they got a plan. That's the only time pick is supposed to be is going to be a backup unless it's a quarterback, and they already got a quarterback to be the bridge quarterback. That's why you only hear bridge quarterback. You don't hear a bridge lineman, a bridge corner, a bridge linebacker. You hear bridge quarterback because that position is the only position that you could draft in the first round that you could is for the future. Everybody else is a day one starter. So when minicamp come up and we're going to play our nickel defense, Marlon Humphrey going to be in the slot. So that means there's going to be two safeties back there. And if it's Ardarius Washington and Kyle Hamilton, that's a waste of the pick. It clearly is.
I agree
For
with you
what
on that.
we need now.
Let me ask you this.
Now.
With-
Because this is what I'm saying. Like, yes, it's like Patrick Queen or T. Higgins. Yes, we need an inside linebacker, but T. Higgins is a better impactful player.
True.
Yes, David Ajabo was projected to be a top 15 player.
You
So
starting
was
something now. You starting something now.
I just saying that then a lot of Ravens content creators came out and said, well, we're going to put him at free safety. Well, if you look at his film, he wasn't playing free safety like that. And the type of free safety we need him to play is a Marcus Williams safety, because this is what I'm thinking. If we want to put him at free, we're our number one defensive play, Coach. We're our number one defensive play.
Blitz?
All out blitz. Cover one safety, all out blitz. Do you think Malaki Starks could stop that? What? Because if you think about it, number 2003 championship game,
We blitzed. And
what we call?
Blitz. We all our blitz and got beat.
So you think Malaki Starks as safety could stop that? If you don't think that, you shouldn't draft him, because that's our number one play. That's an Air Reed type play, but he's not a Air Reed type player. To me, Malaki Starks is more of a Tyrann Mathieu type player, which is not bad at all. That is actually good. So what we needed was like an Air Reed free safety type player, and it was only two safeties like that. It was Whiston and Watts, and they was in the second round waiting. And since Starks was going to fall down to the second round, that means you have 5 safeties today. There would have been 5 safeties on the board, and people wasn't going to pick up.
If we didn't pick him, he would have been a day 2 guy. I do.
Thank you. And we could easily trade up and could have got him if we want to.
Yeah, I think you look at Starks, and even though I didn't like Imanwari, he's an option, or would have been an option. You look at the kid from Notre Dame. I keep forgetting his name.
Watts. I think Watts was the perfect fit because he was the true free safety of the class. He was the true free safety of the class.
And the one I
Like
most
people
was
got it. I
McCool.
like. Yeah, and Makuba.
McCool would've been
I
that
feel
third
like.
round. You still here with me, Marcus? I lost Marcus. God dog it. I lost Marcus. I lost him. Something. Maybe his phone died or something. Let's move on. Let's move on. Let's see who we got. All right, what's your name? What you got for me today?
Yo, what's good, Coach? Hey, this D Banks, man. You familiar with me in the chat?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I'm finna set your name right now. What's good with you?
All right. I'm trying to find out what's good, man. I'm late to the party. You know, I didn't get to tune in.
Oh, I saw your question. You want me to answer your question from what you said when you first came in? So last night, last night when the pick was made, I wanted. I'm just gonna speak for myself. I wanted Simmons, and so when the pick was made, I was disappointed.
Yeah,
I was disappointed.
Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted to get to the bottom of. Not why people are mad. Just who exactly did y'all want at 27 is what I'm trying to figure out.
I wanted Simmons.
Oh, okay.
But let me go through it. I ain't gonna start. Let me go through it. I wanted Simmons, and we picked Starks. Now, never because people. And if you've been reading my comments, you probably think that I said something crazy about Starks, and I didn't, because people was coming sideways in my opinion. Starks is a phenomenal player. I think we're gonna have a phenomenal back end. I felt like the need was better at O-line or edge rather than safety. That was the whole premise of where I was coming. But the way I looked at some of my comments, you'd think I said Starks was a piece of crap. All my comments, I preference was he's a great player, but I'd rather have O-line. He's a great player, but I think we should have got Simmons. And just even sleeping on it, thinking about it, they probably were scared about the patella from Simmons, which makes sense. And so I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
I just had to sleep on it. But folks just, and a lot of people want me to argue with them, and I don't do that.
Yeah, I don't want to argue about it. Everybody has their own opinion. I just didn't understand. I felt like I was getting like an outrage kind of vibe.
Oh,
not
yeah,
necessarily
no.
from you.
Yeah.
Yeah, not necessarily from you, but I'm seeing a lot of people that's acting like Starks is just like this is blasphemy or some shit.
Yeah. No, that definitely not it. Definitely.
Okay.
Well, not for me, but I think I think the back ends, it's gonna be lit back there. I think they gonna cause turnovers. I think it's gonna get real. I think I made a tweet about them holding people to 20 points, and I know people probably thought that was sarcasm. I wasn't joking. The only team that I feel like we might not hold to 20 points is them ugly jokers in Ohio.
I mean, I think shit.
Yeah.
Okay, can it my turn?
Oh yeah, go ahead, man. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I think we figure a lot of stuff out today. That's my whole thing. I think we get Starks. I think we build in the trenches today. And I thought a lot of people was on the same page before we came into the draft, knowing that day 2 is really where it's at.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised by a lot of these remarks. I thought everybody was on the same page, knowing that day 2 is really where this shit is at. As far as guards, as far as, edge rushers you might get, it's people still available that I did not think was going to be available at this point, even at 27.
Facts.
So,
I don't know if you watch me and Chris and them, our little bracket thing. We didn't even put Starks in the bracket because we didn't think he was going to be there.
Didn't think he was going to be there.
We had seven of us had no clue Starks would make it to 27.
I'm about, were you done?
No, I'm done. Go ahead.
Yeah. I agree. A lot of dudes. I thought Nick Amari Wanu, however you say his name, I thought he was gonna get took. I guess the Mike Green shit, whatever he got going on in real life, I don't know. They know something we don't know.
Right.
It's I don't know, but
hit me on Twitter. Hit me on Twitter. Hit my DM. Yeah.
But yeah, that's my whole thing. I don't like the outrage. The draft doesn't end in round 1. My personal opinion on Josh Simmons, man, I think the Eagles and Chiefs make the most sense for him and them. I don't think Josh Simmons, with that patella injury, you know what I'm saying? I've tried to do a little bit of research on it. I'm not a doctor, of course, but he's not going to be ready for maybe another 2 to 3 years, and I don't think we have that. I mean, what's your thoughts on that? I don't think we have time for project players.
They say he should be good by camp, but I'm just thinking about the injury. I can see how that would scare DeCosta off, and that's what I'm saying. The more I sit back and think about it and process it, I had a knee-jerk reaction last night, and the more I sit back and think about it and process it, the injury probably scared him off because you don't know.
Yeah.
And look, we've had bad situations drafting injured people.
Exactly, and that's another reason why I'm confused, because that's something we get on EDC and Harbaugh about a lot, is them putting their eggs in one basket for a guy that's fucking injured. And to see a lot of people having this type of reaction for a guy who not only we're not going to bring him in to play tackle anyway. We're bringing him in to shift him to guard, and obviously that is our main concern. I'm not downplaying that guard and trenches is our main concern. But I don't think we need to spend that pick on him. Not him. I don't think he's the guy for that. Most of these guys in this draft, again, I thought people had a common understanding. This draft's not even that as far as like the linemen. A lot of these guys are about to get switched to guard because they're really not that at tackle. So I feel like he was a project player for us in our situation. The Chiefs, they can afford to get a guy like that. They got rings. They got a fucking dynasty or whatever. They can afford to wait 2 to 3 years for him to get good. The same thing with the Eagles. They can wait 2 to 3 years for him to get good. We don't have that. We don't have 2 to 3 years for him to finally get fully healthy, and we don't have that.
Points well taken. That makes sense, because our window is closing.
Exactly.
Our window is closing, and because it's we can't afford, like you said, we can't afford any projects. Everything we get, it got to be ready made right now. If we get a project, he got to be a rotational player in like a late round pick that's gonna play maybe 8-9 snaps a game.
Right. And all the guards are now like they I think how many guards got took in the first round? Was it Booker? No, Booker.
That's
he
it.
tackle?
No, just Booker.
No, Zabel.
Well, Zabel kind of play. Well, just true guards, just that's only play guard Booker, but Zabel play a little bit of everything.
Okay.
But if we want to call,
so,
we can call Zabel a guard, yeah. Booker and Zabel, but Zabel can play anything.
Okay, but it's just Booker though. Again, so Zabel, he's just another tackle that they're about to move to guard because he's really not that at tackle.
Yes.
So
exactly.
I think day two was always the plan. I think everything is going to part of the plan. I know a lot of people, they want things when they want it and who they want when they want it. Like that's not my mindset. I know a lot of us we got EDC on a short leash, and I do too. I do too. I just don't agree with what's going on today, but I do agree he's got a short leash. He's done a lot of goofy ass shit in the past, but I'm willing to leave a lot of that stuff in the past now. I feel like he's trying to. I don't know. But
go on, say it. Because I agree with you. Say it. Go ahead and say it. He's trying to get it right.
Exactly. So I'm gonna come back. Are you gonna do another call-in show after the draft or anything like that?
Yeah,
I'm gonna come back.
When the whole thing is over, I'm gonna double back. When the whole draft is over, I'm gonna double back. So it'll probably be Monday. Oh no, might be Sunday. I'll probably do it Sunday. Once we got all the picks in, it'll be sometime Sunday afternoon. Yeah. So Sunday afternoon we'll do another call-in show. But I'll be streaming tonight while we pick what we pick and do what we do or whatever. But I'll do another call-in Sunday once we get everybody in hand. And it's probably unfair to even assess this first pick until we see the whole picture. Because this is just one stroke of the brush.
It is not over on day one, everybody. It's not. It doesn't end on day one. Rome wasn't built in a day.
Facts.
That was lame. Was that lame?
No, it was not lame because it applies to this situation. Because it helps me out too because I like I said, I had selective outrage too. So your words helping me out too.
And a lot of people had the same vibe last year when we went Nate in the first round. Like, is that fact? I think a lot of people had mixed reviews. We went Nate in the first round. What did we do second round? First thing we addressed. We went straight to Roger Rosengarten. A lot of people didn't even.
And I think he ended up being the best tackle in the he ended up being the best well now the boy for the Chargers were, but other people that went in front of him, he was better.
Exactly.
So you're right. Like Aaron said, RELAX.
And Roger, like it's not a project. It's not somebody we had to move from left tackle to right tackle. Not somebody we had to move from guard to tackle. He's comfortable at that position. I think we about to draft somebody that's truly a guard to the heart. They want to play guard. That's their position. Not somebody that's they coming off of patella and we got to move them from tackle to guard. None of that shit. We about to draft a true guard and we gonna be all right. So I'm gonna come back. And if I got to eat my words, I'll eat my words. But I think EDC, I think he's going to do the right thing. I think he's going to make it make sense. At least I hope so. And we're going to see. You know what I'm saying? Peace out, Coach.
I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you for calling in. Hey, don't be no stranger. I'll be looking forward to chopping it up with you Sunday, okay?
Yeah, I'll be back. All right.
Most deaf. One. All right. And last but not least, turn your volumes down, people. Turn your volumes down, people. Last but not least, turn your volumes down. Turn your volumes down, people. I'm warning you. I am warning you. Turn your volumes down. I'm giving you a minute to turn your volumes down before I let them in. Turn your volumes down, people. So don't say I didn't warn you. Turn your volumes down. But that was a hell of a call by D Banks, man. I appreciate you for calling in. Hell of a call. Appreciate you for calling in. Turn your volumes down. You know how some people be like, turn your speakers up, I can't hear me. Turn your volume down because you gonna need it. What's good? What's good, Rafe?
Well,
He come in like a preacher.
In the morning when I'm in need. I'm so glad to have a conversation with everybody. Let me tell y'all something. Let's relax. Right. Like the other caller said. Relax. RELAX. Whatever. Listen, my guy. Have no fear. Ben Cleveland is here. So calm down. It's okay. Listen. It's common sense. It's not an uproar, and no disrespect to other caller, it's not an uproar. It's common sense. Yes, is the plans for this to happen? Correct. Is the plans to draft this guy on this moment at this time? Sure, that is the plans. But guess what? There's a thing called plans change. Why? Because it's called a draft. If you see ages flying off the board, and you know good and well you got an old 50-year-old DN named Calvin Noah. He don't know if he want to keep playing for 10 more years or retire. Wait. The crowd, stop saying he got 10 sacks. He had 2 of them that really didn't even count. One of them was a hand sack, and the other one was a sack. He tackled another guy, and they gave it to him. Stop it. He barely had 10. Let's calm down, all right? The other guy, David Ojabo, man, I used to actually like David Ojabo. I used to say, hey, David Ojabo. But no, don't give me the garbage. You're done. You suck. I'm sorry. So, and then what's so beautiful is in the off season, right? Hashtag Ben Cleveland. In the off season, that man, Pierce, shout out to Pierce, retired. Well, guess what? That means we're low on the D linemen, we're low on the 400-pounders, we're low on the DNs, and we got an old guy at edge that's holding it down for us. Okay, so check this out. So check this out. Now, in the draft, you see the DNs flying off, offensive linemen flying off, D linemen flying off. Guess what? What is the more valuable pick? Go after a safety when there's about 10 other safeties on the board? Or do you go after the best available lineman to protect our Mustang, our Lamborghini, our guy to take us home to the championship, okay? The guy. So you want to protect the champion, or do you want to go get a safety that's already... Now listen, hold on. Shout out to Malaki Starks. In the draft coverage, if y'all didn't see me, I was there with Coach. I was hitting the super chats. I was there, and I was saying Nick and Memori. But regardless, I didn't really care because I knew Malaki was good. It was never any disrespect to Malaki, and I don't think Ravens fans are disrespecting Malaki. He's amazing. But once again, you can name about 10 other safeties and 10 other corners. Well, Johnson was there. You got corners and safeties right after Malaki still on the board. So what's smart, you imbeciles that cannot have understanding to the brain? You can't understand that to the brain. What is the goal? Okay, so if there's 200 safeties, but now there's about 5 more linemen, what do you think is smart to pick up? A lineman. You have to, because they're flying off the freaking board, man. Shout out to Georgia. My God, about 4 or 5 Georgia players that was edge rusher just coming off the board. Jalen Walker, all those dudes flying off the board. Okay, so obviously we need a guy that's going to make an impact now, because we ain't got nobody edge rushers that are going to make an impact other than Madden BK, and he don't know whether he's going to have the correct name or his old name. Cool, move on. So it's common sense. Yes, Mr. Other Caller or anyone else who don't understand this, yes, the plan was to get this guy. Yes, we all was in the unison. But things change when the draft happens. How can you be an analyst, a coach, a GM to not understand that, hey, EDC, we're running out of linemen and edge rushers that can make an impact now. Are you going to do something about that? Or are you going to go, this is what he said in the press conference. We just want to know that he was our best guy available, and that's what we chose to do, our best available. And no, you see, you should have said, what is the best value? The second and third round, there were so many safeties and corners still on the board. A whole bunch of talented corners. Nobody cares of safeties and corners. I still want to Nick Emery, but I would respect it if we got the best fit for the team. I'm sorry, Coach. I don't know how long I've been on this call. But to make a long story short, it's not an uproar, everyone. Shout out to Ben Cleveland. I think I need to calm down some more. I thought I could calm down before this call. But, ooh, some of these fans get the Rave Kingdom nice and psyched up. Oh, Ben Cleveland, Coach. Ben Cleveland.
Hey. Respect, man. Respect. Hey. Hey, I appreciate you, Ray. Oh, my goodness. Oh, we had a super chat. King of the Sea said whoever that phone should be for real. He should be a voice actor because he have 18 different. He should be a voice actor for real. For real, it's funny, and that's why I always try to save him for last because he, no matter what he says, he is a hoot, and he don't mean nothing by nothing. He just get his points off. He don't be disrespectful at all. It's funny. It's just funny and it's all in good fun, man. Salute the Rave Kingdom. And on that note, man, we've been here an hour. We started off with Cole and talking about, Malaki Starks, and we open the phone lines up and let you guys call in, man. When I tell y'all to like this stream right here, starting off, being serious, talking Cole, and then talking to you guys and getting you guys take on Starks and seeing multiple sides of this whole stuff, and then ending it right there with Rave, man. That's why I do this stuff, bro. It's love, man. This is freaking fun. It's fun. It's fun. I appreciate all y'all that's in here. Whoever, I don't know how many people is in here at the moment, but if you all hit that like button, man, it's 133 of y'all. And I'll be back. I don't know how many of the guys coming back tonight. The invitation is out there for them. So but I'll be here at 7, and we'll start seeing who gets drafted tonight. And it is what it is, man. It is what it is, and I like Starks, and we gonna have a fire secondary. And it's time to, like D-Bank said, let's work on the rest of the roster tonight. So I appreciate y'all, man, and I'm gonna go, rest and get some, just get some rest in before 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock will be here before you know it, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Peace and love, and I'll see y'all soon.